I need to tell someone what happened because I feel like I'm losing my mind and everyone keeps telling me I overreacted, but I know what I saw. I know what he did. And I have proof of everything. My husband Daniel and I have been married for 4 years, together for 6. We have a 9-month-old daughter named Emma. She's my entire world, these big brown eyes, this little laugh that sounds like bubbles, the way she grabs my hair and won't let go. I love her so much it physically hurts sometimes. Daniel and I had Emma later than we planned. We'd been trying for 2 years, went through fertility treatments, had 2 miscarriages. When I finally got pregnant with Emma and carried her to term, I thought it was the beginning of our happy ending. Daniel seemed excited. He painted the nursery himself, picked out her crib, told everyone at work he was going to be a dad. But something changed after Emma was born. Not immediately, for the first month or so, Daniel was involved. He'd hold her, change her, do the nighttime feedings when I was too exhausted. But then he started pulling back. Started working later. Started going out with his friends more. Started acting like Emma and I were obligations instead of his family. The real problem started about 3 months ago, when his company transferred him to a new position. Better pay, more responsibility, but also more hours and more stress. Daniel started saying things like, "I need my space," and "I can't think with all the crying," and some of us have to actually work for a living. That last one hurt, because I'd been a marketing director before Emma was born. I made good money. But we'd agreed I'd take a year of maternity leave, because daycare for an infant costs almost as much as I was making, and Daniel's new salary could cover us. The plan was I'd go back to work when Emma turned 1. But Daniel started treating me like I was lazy. Like staying home with a baby was a vacation. He'd come home and I'd be exhausted. Emma was going through a phase where she'd only sleep for 2-hour stretches. And he'd look around at the dishes in the sink or the laundry on the couch and say, "What did you even do all day?" I tried to talk to him about it. I really did. I'd say, "Daniel, I need help. I'm drowning here." And he'd say, "I'm working 12-hour days. I'm tired too." Like it was a competition. Then 3 weeks ago, something shifted. Daniel started getting weird about his schedule. He'd always been the type to be flexible. If I needed to run to the store, or take a shower, or just have 20 minutes to myself, he'd watch Emma. But suddenly, he started blocking out time on our shared calendar, and refusing to budge. "I need Sunday," he said one Saturday night. "I have plans." "What plans?" I asked. "Just plans. Guy stuff. I need a break." "Daniel, I haven't had a break in 9 months. You're home all day. Every day is a break." I wanted to scream. Instead, I said, "Okay. Fine. Take Sunday. But I need you to watch Emma on Monday afternoon so I can go to my doctor's appointment." "Can't. I have a meeting. It's at 3 p.m. You're never in meetings at 3. "Well, I am now." He didn't even look up from his phone. Sunday morning came. Daniel was up early, showered, dressed nice, not gym clothes, not hanging with the guys' clothes. He was wearing the cologne I bought him for Christmas that he said was too fancy for regular use. "Where are you going?" I asked, Emma on my hip, spit up on my shoulder. "I told you." "Out?" "Out where?" "Jesus, Melissa, do I interrogate you every time you leave the house?" "I don't leave the house, Daniel. I haven't left the house without Emma in 3 weeks." He grabbed his keys. "I'll be back tonight." "What time?" "I don't know." "Late?" "Don't wait up." And he left. I was annoyed but not suspicious yet. I figured maybe he really did need space. Maybe I was being clingy. Maybe this was normal relationship stuff. Then I went to make Emma's bottle and realized we were almost out of formula. We had maybe 2 scoops left. Emma goes through 6 bottles a day. I texted Daniel, "We're out of formula. Can you grab some on your way home?" No response. An hour later, "Daniel, I'm serious. We need formula. Emma's going to run out." Nothing. I called. Straight to voicemail. I checked our bank account to order formula online with rush delivery. Our joint account, the one we use for household expenses, had $37 in it. $37. There should have been at least $2,000. I called Daniel again. Voicemail again. I texted, "Where's the money from the joint account?" Finally, a response, "Busy. Can't talk." "Daniel, there's no money for formula." "Where did it go?" "I moved it." "We'll talk later." "Moved it where?" "I need to buy formula now." "Use your credit card." "My credit card is maxed out from the medical bills." "You know that." "Then figure it out." "I'm busy." I stared at my phone. I stared at Emma, who was starting to fuss because she was hungry. I stared at the nearly empty container of formula. I called my mom. She lived an hour away and had just had knee surgery. "Mom, I need help. We're out of formula and Daniel took all the money and..." "Honey, slow down. What do you mean he took all the money?" I explained. She was quiet for a long moment. "I can Venmo you money right now," she finally said. "But Melissa, this isn't normal. This is financial abuse." "It's not, he's just stressed. He's been working so hard and he's your husband. He doesn't get to leave you and your baby without access to food. That's abuse." I didn't want to believe her. I took the money she sent, ordered formula with rush delivery, and used the last of what we had to get Emma through the day. Daniel came home at midnight. I was on the couch, Emma finally asleep after hours of screaming because she was hungry and I'd had to water down the formula to make it stretch. "Where were you?" I asked. "Out. I told you. For 16 hours. I lost track of time." He headed toward the bedroom. "Daniel, we need to talk about the money." "Not now. I'm exhausted." "You're exhausted. I've been here all day with a hungry baby because you drained our account without telling me." "I didn't drain it. I moved it to my personal account." "We'll talk about it tomorrow." "Why would you move it to your personal account?" He turned around, and there was something in his face I'd never seen before. Something cold. "Because I earned it. It's my money. And I'm tired of you spending it on whatever you want. Formula isn't whatever I want. It's food for our daughter. You should have planned better. You knew we were running low." I couldn't speak. I literally couldn't form words. He went to bed. I sat on that couch until 4 a.m., Emma in my arms, trying to understand what was happening to my marriage. The formula arrived Monday morning. I thought maybe things would get better. They didn't. Daniel started blocking out more time on the calendar. "I need Wednesday evening. I need Saturday afternoon. I need Thursday night." Always with no explanation. Always with his phone glued to his hand, texting someone, smiling at his screen in a way he hadn't smiled at me in months. I started to suspect. Of course I did. The cologne, the secretive phone behavior, the sudden need for so much time away. But I didn't want to be that wife, the paranoid one who accused her husband of cheating without proof. Then came last Sunday. The Sunday that changed everything. Daniel announced Friday night that he needed Sunday again, and that he'd be gone all day. "Daniel, Emma has her 9-month pediatrician appointment on Monday, and I need to prepare. Can you please just be home Sunday afternoon? No. What do you mean, no? I mean no. I have plans. They are important. More important than your daughter. Don't be dramatic. Saturday, I noticed Daniel had moved more money out of our joint account. This time, he left exactly $0. I confronted him. You took everything again. It's my money. It's our money. We agreed when I went on maternity leave. You agreed to go back to work after a year. You agreed to contribute. But you're not contributing, so why should you have access to money you didn't earn? I'm raising our child. That's contributing. You're sitting at home all day. My mother raised 4 kids and still worked full-time. I felt something break inside me. Your mother had your father actually helping. Your mother had family support. Your mother didn't have a husband who treated her like a parasite. Don't talk about my mother. Then don't compare me to her. He left the room. Came back with his wallet and threw a $20 bill at me. Literally threw it. It hit me in the chest and fell to the floor. There. Buy whatever you need. I looked at that 20 on the floor and something in me clicked. This wasn't marriage. This wasn't partnership. This was something else entirely. Sunday morning, Daniel left at 8 a.m. I made Emma her bottle, we had enough formula for today at least, and I sat down and really looked at our situation. No money. No help. A husband who was treating me like an employee he resented. A baby who needed me to protect her. That's when I decided to start recording everything. I set up my phone to record our interactions. Not to catch him cheating, I already knew in my gut he was cheating, but to document what he was doing. The financial control. The way he spoke to me. Everything. At 2 p.m., Emma started acting weird. She was fussy, wouldn't take her bottle, kept arching her back and crying. I checked her temperature, 100.2. Not terrible, but not great. I texted Daniel, Emma has a fever. When will you be home? No response. By 4 p.m., Emma's fever was up to 101.8. She was lethargic, wouldn't eat, just laying in my arms whimpering. I called Daniel. Voicemail. I texted, Emma's fever is getting worse. I'm getting worried. Please come home. Nothing. At 5 p.m., I was trying to give Emma her bottle when she started choking. Not spitting up, choking. Her face turned red, then purple. She couldn't breathe. I flipped her over, did the back blows like I'd learned in infant CPR. Nothing. Did them again. Again. She still wasn't breathing. I called 911 with one hand while I kept trying to clear her airway. The operator was talking me through it when Emma finally coughed and spit up and started crying, that beautiful, terrifying sound of air getting back in her lungs. Is she breathing now? The operator asked. Yes. Yes, she's breathing. We're sending an ambulance anyway. Stay on the line. I called Daniel again while I waited for the ambulance. Voicemail. I texted, Emma stopped breathing. Ambulance is coming. Where are you? Finally, a response, I'm busy. Call someone else. I stared at that text. I read it 3 times to make sure I wasn't hallucinating. Call someone else. My baby had stopped breathing and my husband told me to call someone else. I took a screenshot. I was shaking so hard I almost dropped my phone. The ambulance arrived. The EMTs checked Emma, she was okay, probably had reflux that caused her to aspirate some formula, but she was breathing fine now. They recommended we go to the ER just to be safe. Is there someone who can come with you? One EMT asked. Your husband. He's busy, I said. My voice sounded dead even to me. They looked at each other but didn't say anything. I rode in the ambulance with Emma. At the hospital, they did chest x-rays, monitored her breathing, checked her oxygen levels. Everything was okay. She was okay. But she might not have been. If I hadn't known infant CPR, if I'd frozen, if I'd panicked. I texted Daniel from the ER, we're at County General. Emma aspirated and stopped breathing. She's okay now but they are monitoring her. 30 minutes later, K. Just the letter K. I took a screenshot of that too. We got discharged at 9 p.m. I called my mom to come get us because I was too shaky to drive. She arrived 20 minutes later, took one look at my face, and said, "Where the hell is Daniel?" I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Your baby was in the ER. He said he was busy. He told me to call someone else. My mother's face went through about 6 different emotions. Get Emma's things. You're both coming to stay with me. Mom, I can't just. Yes, you can. You're not staying in that house alone with a baby when your husband can't be bothered to show up during a medical emergency. Daniel came home at 11 p.m. I know because he texted, "Where are you?" I didn't respond. He called. I didn't answer. He texted again, "This is ridiculous. Come home." I texted back, "Our daughter stopped breathing today, and you told me to call someone else. I'm done. You're overreacting. Emma's fine, isn't she?" No thanks to you. I was in the middle of something important. I couldn't just drop everything. More important than your daughter's life. Stop being dramatic. You said she was fine. I sent him the screenshot. The call someone else text. Do you even understand what you did? I wrote. Do you understand that I was alone with a choking baby, and you told me to call someone else? You're blowing this out of proportion. You had your mom. You had 911. You didn't need me. I stared at that text for a long time. Then I wrote, "You're right. I don't need you." I blocked his number. My mom helped me find a lawyer Monday morning. A family law attorney named Rebecca, who specialized in cases involving financial abuse and child welfare. I showed her everything. The texts. The bank statements showing how Daniel had systematically drained our joint account. The recording I'd made of him throwing money at me. The call someone else text. The K from the hospital. Rebecca listened to everything, her face getting progressively harder. How long has this been going on? She asked. The money stuff started 3 months ago. The emotional stuff, longer. But it's gotten so much worse. And he was gone all day Sunday. Does he do that often? Every Sunday for the past 3 weeks. Plus random weekdays. Do you know where he goes? No. He won't tell me. Rebecca nodded slowly. I'm going to recommend we hire a private investigator. Not because you need to prove adultery for the divorce, this is a no-fault state, but because if he's spending marital assets on an affair, we can use that to get you a better settlement. I don't care about the money. I just want Emma safe. The money matters, Melissa. You need to be able to support yourself and your daughter. You need leverage. She leaned forward. What he's doing, the financial control, the emotional manipulation, refusing to come home during a medical emergency, it's a pattern. And patterns are powerful in court. I hired the investigator. His name was Mike, former cop, came highly recommended. I gave him Daniel's schedule. His usual haunts, everything I knew. It took him 1 day to find out where Daniel was spending his Sundays. He was with his co-worker, a woman named Brittany from his office. They had an apartment together. An apartment Daniel was paying for with our money. They'd been together for 4 months. Mike had photos. Daniel and Brittany holding hands. Kissing. Going into the apartment together. Coming out the next morning. I looked at those photos and felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, nothing. I was completely numb. There's more, Mike said quietly. I checked the financial records your lawyer requested. Daniel's been paying for that apartment, expensive dinners, jewelry, trips. Conservative estimate. He's spent about $40,000 in 4 months. $40,000. My voice was flat. While I was rationing formula. Yeah. I called Rebecca. I want full custody. I want child support. I want alimony. I want him to pay for everything he's done. We'll get it, she said. Trust me, with this evidence, we'll get it. Daniel finally tracked me down at my mom's house on Tuesday. He showed up banging on the door, shouting about how I was keeping him from his daughter, how I was being unreasonable, how we needed to talk like adults. My mom opened the door with her phone already recording. Melissa, tell your mother to let me in. This is insane. No, I said. I was standing behind my mom, Emma in my arms. I'm your husband. That's my daughter. You can't keep her from me. You told me to call someone else when she stopped breathing. I apologized for that. No, you didn't. You said I was being dramatic. Well, you are. You're making this into some big thing when it's not. Daniel, where were you Sunday? I asked. My voice was steady. Calm. He blinked. I told you. Out with friends. Which friends? Just friends. Try again. Something flickered in his face. Why are you interrogating me? Were you with Brittany? His face went white. Then red. Who told you? How did you? Answer the question. That's none of your business. You're spending our money on another woman, and it's none of my business. It's my money. It's marital assets. And you've been spending it on an apartment for your girlfriend while your daughter went without formula. He opened his mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. You hired a PI. You actually hired someone to follow me. You left me with no choice. I can't believe you'd violate my privacy like that. I can't believe you'd cheat on me and then tell me to call someone else when our daughter stopped breathing. He stood there on my mom's porch, and I watched him cycle through emotions, shock, anger, indignation, and finally, calculation. Okay, he said. Okay, look. I messed up. The thing with Brittany, it's not what you think. It's just been so stressful with the new job and the baby, and I needed an escape. It didn't mean anything. $40,000. That's what it didn't mean. His jaw tightened. You had no right to go through my finances. They are our finances. And I had every right. Fine. Fine. You want a divorce? You've got one. But don't think you're getting full custody. Emma needs her father. Emma needs a father who shows up. You're not that person. We'll see what a judge says. He left. My mom closed the door, and we both just stood there for a minute. You okay? She asked. I recorded all of that, right? Every word. Good. The divorce is still ongoing. It's been 2 weeks since I left. Daniel's lawyer is trying to paint me as unstable, as someone who overreacted and kept his child from him. But Rebecca has the evidence. All of it. The texts showing financial abuse. The recordings of him belittling me. The PI photos of the affair. The bank records showing where our money went. And most damning, that call someone else text when Emma stopped breathing. We had a preliminary custody hearing yesterday. Daniel showed up in a suit, playing the concerned father. His lawyer talked about how much he loved Emma, how he wanted to be involved in her life, how I was being vindictive. Then Rebecca played the recordings. Daniel telling me to figure out formula on my own. Daniel throwing money at me. Daniel saying call someone else when our baby couldn't breathe. The judge's face didn't change, but her eyes did. She granted me temporary full custody. Daniel gets supervised visitation once a week, and he's required to take a parenting class before that can be increased. He has to pay temporary child support, a significant amount based on his salary. And he's been ordered to restore all funds to our joint account. He looked at me across the courtroom like I'd betrayed him. Like I was the villain in this story. I looked back and felt nothing but relief. After the hearing, Rebecca pulled me aside. The final divorce will take a few months, but this is a good start. You'll get full custody, significant child support, probably alimony for a few years. While you get back on your feet. And if he appeals, we have enough evidence to bury him. What about the affair? I asked. Does that matter? In a no-fault state, not for the divorce itself. But the way he spent marital assets on another woman while financially abusing you. That absolutely matters. The judge saw that. Everyone saw that. I went home to my mom's house where Emma was napping. I sat next to her crib and watched her breathe, those little chest movements, her tiny hands curled into fists. My phone buzzed. A text from Daniel, "You've destroyed our family." I didn't respond. Instead, I blocked him on everything except the co-parenting app the court ordered us to use. Because he didn't destroy our family. He tried to. He systematically broke it down piece by piece, the financial abuse, the emotional manipulation, the affair, the absolute abandonment when our daughter needed him most. But I stopped him. I gathered evidence. I got help. I protected Emma. And now we are safe. People keep asking if I feel guilty, if I think I went too far, if I should have tried marriage counseling first. And honestly, no. Because when your husband tells you to call someone else while your baby is choking, there's nothing left to save. You don't come back from that. You don't counsel your way through a man who valued his affair over his daughter's life. Emma is 9 months old. She won't remember any of this. She won't remember her father wasn't there when she stopped breathing. She won't remember the apartment with no formula, the nights of crying because I couldn't feed her properly, the fear in my voice when I called 911 alone. But I'll remember. And I'll make sure she grows up knowing she deserves better than a man who says call someone else when she needs him. Daniel sent one more text through the co-parenting app today. I hope you're happy. You got what you wanted. I thought about that for a long time. Then I typed, I wanted a partner. I wanted a father for my daughter. I wanted someone who wouldn't choose another woman over his child's life. I didn't get any of that. What I got was evidence that I made the right choice leaving you. Then I closed the app, picked up Emma, and went outside where my mom was gardening. How are you feeling? She asked. I looked at Emma, at her big brown eyes and her smile that's starting to show 2 tiny teeth. I thought about the apartment we are looking at tomorrow, about the job interview I have next week, about the life we are going to build. Free, I said. I feel free. And I meant it.